A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant escalation of tensions in the Middle East, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has ordered a suspension of the country's cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. This decision comes in the wake of recent American and Israeli airstrikes targeting Iran's most critical nuclear facilities, raising concerns about Iran's nuclear ambitions and the potential for increased instability in the region. The order was announced on Wednesday, July 2, 2025, and is expected to further complicate the already strained relationship between Iran and the West. The airstrikes have reportedly hindered inspectors' ability to monitor Tehran's nuclear program, which has been enriching uranium to levels that are dangerously close to weapons grade. The lack of transparency could lead to increased fears among nations wary of Iran's nuclear capabilities. President Pezeshkian's directive did not provide any specific timelines or details regarding how the suspension of cooperation would be implemented. This ambiguity has left many analysts speculating about Iran's next moves and the potential implications for international diplomacy. In a related development, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi expressed a willingness to keep the door open for negotiations with the United States, despite the current tensions. In an interview with CBS News, Araghchi stated, "I don't think negotiations will restart as quickly as that," in reference to U.S. President Donald Trump's recent comments suggesting that talks could resume imminently. However, he emphasized, the doors of diplomacy will never slam shut, indicating that Iran may still be interested in dialogue despite the escalating situation. Historically, Iran has utilized the limitation of IAEA inspections as a strategic pressure tactic during negotiations with Western powers. Nevertheless, current indications suggest that Tehran is not planning to resume talks with the U.S. anytime soon, particularly following the recent 12-day conflict between Iran and Israel that has further strained relations. The announcement of the suspension follows the passage of a law by Iran's parliament mandating the halt in cooperation with the IAEA. This legislative move received the endorsement of Iran's constitutional watchdog, the Guardian Council, and is likely backed by the Supreme National Security Council, which Pezeshkian chairs. The law emphasizes the government's commitment to immediately cease all cooperation with the IAEA under the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. The implications of this decision are profound. With the IAEA's ability to monitor Iran's nuclear activities severely restricted, the risk of miscalculations and misunderstandings between Iran and other nations could increase. The international community, particularly countries in the West, will be closely monitoring the situation as it unfolds, given the potential for nuclear proliferation in a region already rife with conflict. As tensions rise, the global response to Iran's actions will be critical. The U.S. and its allies must navigate this complex landscape carefully, balancing the need for diplomatic engagement with the necessity of ensuring regional security. The suspension of cooperation with the IAEA could lead to a further deterioration of relations and a potential escalation of military confrontations. In conclusion, Iran's decision to suspend cooperation with the IAEA amidst escalating military actions raises significant concerns about nuclear proliferation and regional stability. While the Iranian government expresses a willingness to engage in future negotiations, the current state of affairs suggests that the path to diplomacy may be fraught with challenges. The international community must remain vigilant and proactive in addressing the implications of Iran's nuclear program and the broader geopolitical ramifications of this developing situation. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.